All right. Today's video is going to be a switch from aggressive dogs to protection dogs. Now, the reason that I'm doing this video, I was presented by a few friends of mine a protection video that they saw, wanted my opinion and analysis of it because they thought that it was absolutely insane. Okay? And when they say insane, they mean just can't believe that the trainers are putting this family's life at risk and their young children when selling a family this kind of dog. Okay? So, before anybody gets their hair up about me putting clips of this video in this video to demonstrate and hear what we're talking about, the only reason that I'm doing that is because I don't have my own dogs any clips of them doing this because we don't do it. So I have no clips to show of this because I would never do this, right? So I have to use, for you to really understand and get the gist of what I'm talking about here, to hear what's happening between the trainer and the owner and the training itself that is absolutely endangering this family. Okay? That is why I'm putting this video up. Otherwise, I don't care. Let everybody live their lives the way they want to live them. Let people buy whatever kind of dogs they want to buy. Not my business. Don't care. My intention is never, if I use somebody else's clips, to call that company out, right? I never put faces. I never say the name of a company. My intention, if I use somebody else's clips, is not to point a finger at that company or trainer and use their name, use their faces, and try to call them out to the public. That's never my intention because that's not the way I am. I don't roll that way. I don't care. So the reason for this video is because I do care in this particular aspect that the training on this dog that's being done and sold to this poor family for $150,000, this dog should be doing things better, meaning at all, have some kind of skills coming with a $150,000 price tag, and not endangering the family, right? Because the dog should be coming with these basic skills at $150,000. Now, I'm doing this for education purposes, okay? Any video I put out there, anybody who actually listens or takes the time to actually listen to anything I say or show, it's education. This video or any other one I've ever done is not an opinion. It's not my opinion. I know these things. I know how they go. I know what should be done and what shouldn't be done in 30 years of doing all these things. So I just want to set that up because I've heard in the past, oh, he's pointing out those people. He shouldn't do that. We don't like that. You don't want to be educated, right? Because again, I don't show faces. I don't say the company's names. If you know the company, great, right? But I'm not telling the world about this company or calling them out to the world who doesn't know them so that they can point a finger at them or think badly of them. Okay, so I just want to get that out of the way first before I now start to go into this. Because this particular thing that I'm going to show you here in the video, this scenario, this is truly absurd. This is highly dangerous stuff. And this is life-threatening. This is real life deadly stuff. Okay? And this is being treated by the trainers as if it's some kind of game and that it's not dangerous, and what they're doing and how they're showing the owners to do this is mind-blowing. Okay? All right, so let's get to it. So I'm going to set this up for you a little bit so you get an idea of what's happening, what's going to happen. So the owner tells the trainers, I would like to go down to my business where I own this building that I developed. And on the weekends, the alarm goes off. It gets tripped somehow. And he has to go down there with a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old because he has nobody to watch them. So he gets there, he opens the door, goes in and searches the building to see if anybody broke in, while he has a 2-year-old in one arm and a 6-year-old in the other hand, walking through a building, trying to find a potential suspect that broke into his business building, and without a weapon. So he's just going in there blind and vulnerable, okay, with 2 babies and no protection. So tells the trainers he wants to go down to the building so that the trainers can show him how to do this scenario with the dog he bought from them. What it's going to look like, how's it going to feel, how's the dog going to perform, all these things. Okay? So as they get there, before they enter, here is the conversation that the owner has with one of the trainers on the team.
Few instances where I've come in, I've had to come over here on the weekend because an alarm might go off, but it might have gotten tripped because, you know, possibly somebody might have tried to get in the door, but it could have just been maybe FedEx or UPS trying to come in on the weekend and deliver a package, but we're not open on the weekends. So these things have triggered the alarms, and of course I'm on high alert on the weekends, especially if, let's say my wife's out with my daughter in her gymnastics, it's just me and my son in Hayes home, and I've got to come over here with a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old patrolling a building, one kid in one hand, you know, I got the other on the other, and I got a dog, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? So what I really want to do is see exactly how Hayes reacts as we go through the building, you know, because I want her to know, like, it's not just protecting us at home, it's protecting us everywhere we go and at work, because work is home for us too.
Okay. So as you hear there, the owner's telling the trainer that he has to go there with the 2-year-old in one arm and a 6-year-old in the other hand. And this is how life is going to go always. Okay? This is going to be the scenario that happens all the time when he has to go check the building on the weekends because he doesn't have somebody to watch the kids at home when he does this. So he has to bring the kids with him to go check the building for intruders. Okay? Dangerous stuff. All right? Now, I'm going to let this play out and show you the video first, and then we'll discuss the whole thing of what is happening here in total as a package, okay? And what the nightmare here is, right? The disaster in the making that this whole scenario is totally endangering this family, okay? But the trainer here is going to hold on to the leash with the owner, and he opens the door and tells the owner, let's go.
Great. Absolutely great. Never been here, never worked here. It's a genuine fear for the family that someone's broken in. He's been here before. And she's come in, searched the place, found me in a cinema, smashed me, and now went in another room and smashed me again. Oh, it's everything you want. I love that. That's great.
All right, so there are so many problems to this whole scenario. You know, I'm not even going to get into two people holding a leash on one dog, you know, to help the owner be dragged through this building. So the point of all this, the guy, the owner, has said, okay, that you heard, he is going to have to go there with no trainers, by himself in life, with a 2-year-old here and a 6-year-old on the other hand. That scenario still has not changed. Okay, now this owner is just going to add a dog to the equation when this happens on the weekends. Okay, so when reality strikes on the weekends and the owner has to go down there and get out of the car with a 2-year-old here and a 6-year-old and has to have a leash on a $150,000 dog that can't heel without a leash on, now we have problems. Okay, this is just the first issue. Okay, and then we're going to get to the whole cluster of severe problems to this. So how's that going to work when the guy has that baby here and the child here and a leash somewhere on a pulling $150,000 dog? Okay, from across the parking lot to the front door. All right, that's just the first issue. Now, let's say they get to the front door with no issues. Okay? Now, what are the choices here? Okay, what is going to happen here? That the trainers were not listening to, obviously, when the owner told the story to them outside the building. he is going to have to open that door with a massively pulling dog and a baby in the arm, and the 6-year-old is going to have to hang on to a shirt or something and hold on for its life while they all get dragged through a building searching for an attacker. Okay? He cannot leave the babies outside, right? You're not going to leave a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old outside the building to go in and search for an attacker. Okay? The kids get stolen. It's a busy parking lot. It's not his own property, right? It's a public parking lot on a main road. The kids could run into the street and get hit by a car. They might try to go to their own car and get hit by a car that comes through the parking lot if he leaves them outside by themselves. So the alternative is, let's all go in together and find the attacker. So, dog pulling on a leash that it took 2 people last time. Baby 2-year-old in this arm, 6-year-old hang on to the shirt. We're going for a ride. Okay? So the dog will pull through the facility, try to find that, suspect like a magnet, like a heat-seeking missile. So the owner and the 2 children are purposely being led and on a mission through that building to come in contact with a possible aggressor, attacker. Okay? So this whole scenario is endangering the family, their lives. So when the dog actually finds the person, what if this guy has a gun? And he just starts unloading at the owner while he's like this, holding on to this dog, right? Shoot the dog, shoot the owner, shoot the kids. I mean, this is irresponsible. This is just a train wreck, right? This is just, I don't even have words for this, okay? So, this scenario just is so bad, endangering the lives of the owners purposely. Now, I know the trainer doesn't mean it. They just don't know better. Right? This is the way they do things. This is a $150,000 dog we're talking about now. Right? This dog should be delivered at least with search abilities. Okay? So, the trainer and the owner that took the bites from the dog overrode what the guy is saying. Okay? Now, he did not say, I would like the dog to go in by itself and do this so I don't have to endanger my own life and my children's lives, right? By going in with the dog, because there is no purpose in that, right? This defeats the whole purpose of the dog. Okay? So the dog's job, when it's done properly, is to go in the building by itself, knowing how to search. It's been taught how to search. Go through the building until it finds that person and hold that person there, a bark and hold. Okay? That's what it's called. They find the person. They do not automatically bite. They start barking like crazy, keeping somebody, right, where they are, not to move. Alerting the owner that they found somebody. All right, that's the indicator. The dog starts barking at the person. The owner knows for sure that somebody's in that building and the dog has found somebody. Owner on the outside of the building, never entering, calls 911 while the dog is in there, keeping that person there, waiting for the police to come. Our dogs, this is how they do it.
Serious. Revere. Skywalker. Revere.
No leashes. They were taught how to search for somebody on their own, find somebody, bark, attack if they try to run or fight the dog. Right? The owners stay away, stay outside if they want, just stay far back away. Let the dog go and do its job. Don't be on a leash with the dog going to the danger with it. Absolutely insane. So the owner never had to enter the building to put their lives at risk because the dog had skill and understanding of its job. When we tell you to search, we open that door. It's your job. You're alone by yourself, and you go search that building and do your job so that we can stay safe. Okay, so the owner then could stay outside with the two babies, and the dog would go do its thing. The owner and the babies are not in danger. They're not at risk. Okay, that's the purpose of this whole thing. So, your job as the owner is to stay out of this whole thing the entire time, and never your job or business to deal with an attacker or be around an attacker, confront attackers. Okay, especially when you have a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old that is going to be with you all the time when you do this. This is madness. This is insanity. Now, why? I just said there, but I'm going to emphasize it again. You bought a $150,000 dog to protect you and your family. And you said that in the video. You going in with the dog to hunt an attacker and actually get to an attacker and confront them is the worst thing that could ever happen to you. That's the point, is to stay away from doing that. But the trainer, the owner of the company, is actually making you put your life on the line and your kids' lives on the line. So when outside that the owner is telling the trainer that this is what I would like, this is what I want, the owner doesn't know what he's saying. He doesn't know how this works, right? He doesn't know the dog is supposed to do this by itself, and it should have the skill to do that. If he knew that, he wouldn't have bought the dog, knowing that the dog can't do that, that it doesn't have skills, it wasn't trained, it doesn't have the $150,000 value that he paid for, right? So the owner's clueless, thinks, good idea, I guess this is how it works. I grab the line, I get dragged through the building, I find the suspect, I confront it right there with the dog, put myself in danger, the dog in danger, my kids in danger, everybody's in danger. This is great. This is exactly what I bought for $150,000. Okay, now the trainer outside and the owner never thinking, right? Never came to their minds that this is a bad idea. We should have taught this dog how to search on its own and taught it a skill. Never even came to their minds that they're putting the owner and the children's lives in danger. Never even entered the owner's mind. The owner of the dog training company never entered his mind. Right? That is insane. Now, I'm going to show you a clip. They're back at the house after they finish this scenario, talking about how well she did and what's the plan for the next time they do this.
And she came through that corridor, and she was ready.
She was ready to go.
In there.
She smells and picks up the scent and noises and everything else. But it'd be nice to do it when it's maybe a bit darker in here, you know, and maybe come in with a flashlight or however it is that you're doing.
Because that's happened because typically, you know, all the lights are already off because I've already shut everything down.
Perfect. Well, we plan it properly. And next time we progress it, we go into a different room, we go up there, we go up to the stairs. Maybe this door's open and they've run outside and
Okay. So now you hear the conversation between the dog training company owner and the owner of the dog, talking about the next session that they do with the dog to go find an intruder in the building. Now, what was I hoping to hear in this video at that moment? I was hoping and praying that the dog training company owner wasn't as thoughtless, right, as I saw in the video. Okay? But what I heard, right? Okay, now I was hoping to hear. All right, the next time we do this, we're going to send the dog in without you and let the dog do the hunting. So you can stay outside and be safe and not have to go in and confront an attacker. That is what I was hoping, expected to hear from the owner at this moment, right? Talking to the owner of the dog now. And what I heard, okay, was what you heard. No, the next time we do this, let's make it dark. And you'll hold a flashlight. I think the dog guy, owner, forgot and keeps forgetting that there's going to be a 2-year-old in one of those arms, a leash, a pulling, dragging lunatic, a flashlight, and a 6-year-old somewhere. This is being overridden in this whole conversation, this whole video, right? Now, so the next time, let's up the game, he says. The dog training guy. We're going to go all dark. Flashlight. We're going to up the game. No, this is not upping the game. This is getting deeper into disaster, danger. You can't even see now in darkness with 2 little babies, a dragging lunatic that doesn't know how to search. It was never taught a skill to do on its own for $150,000. Okay? Now, I don't even care what price tag you're putting on a dog. You don't go in a building by yourself. You send the dog in. But it has to have the skill how to search to do that. Okay? You have to teach the dog how to do this. All right? But $150,000 and the dog comes with no searching at all. Just all right? So to the dog training company owner, upping the game and getting elite is turning all the lights off and going dark on the owner. Right? And changing rooms, and he won't be hiding in that room anymore. He'll change to another room, right? To make things different and harder. There's nothing harder about that. It's just more danger and ridiculousness and just pointless endangerment. This is morally wrong. To not consider that you are putting the owner's life at risk every time he does this and enters a building to search his building or house, while being dragged into danger to confront possible attackers every time, if ever, and with 2 little babies, is absolutely irresponsible, insane, thoughtless, ridiculous. This is a disaster. Because of the lack of dog training all around with this company, right? And $150,000 price tag for no skills, right? And this could get the owners killed. This particular scenario can get the owners killed. This is just totally irresponsible. I mean, so for the dog company owner to not even think about this when he's being told about this and that he's going to have to bring the 2 children there, and to say, let's make it harder and darker while you get dragged, not going, maybe while we're here, we should teach the dog how to search by itself. Now, they wouldn't be able to do that so fast, right? It takes some time to do. So they're not going to be there anywhere near long enough in the United States from England to do that, right? It's a short period of time they're here. That takes time to develop. It's a skill you have to teach. That's why it has value. It's a skill. A dog has to go through a lot of repetitions and patterns and all sorts of things to develop that skill. It's not just you send a dog in and they go do it naturally. You have to teach it, right? So it wouldn't be that he could go right now, well, let's teach it how to search then on its own. No, you should have done that when you were in England at the facility, right? Teaching it how to do this. Every dog you sell should be doing this. Not being dragged by owners into dangerous situations. That is crazy, and especially for $150,000. This is ridiculous. Okay? So, oh, yeah, I was hoping that he was going to have a light bulb moment and go, I can't do this to the family. I can't have this guy be dragged through a facility to an attacker, especially with two little babies, which the dog training company owner heard over and over and over while he was there, that this is how it's going to go. And no consideration whatsoever to change that equation, not to put the owner's life in jeopardy and his two children. Absolutely irresponsible. I can't even believe what I saw in that video and what I heard, and what I witnessed of no regard for what the owner said to them. The owner didn't even realize it's wrong. Never had a thought himself that, is this a good idea that I get on a leash and I go to the attacker? Trainers, let me ask you something. Is this the only way? I have to go in with it? I bought the dog so I don't have to go in with it. I don't have to put my life in danger, and I'm going to have my two babies with me. The owner also of the dog never had a moment that went, but I'm going to have two babies with me and a dragging dog going to an attacker. I don't think this is a good idea, trainers. Can the dog do it itself? No, he never had that thought. Absolutely crazy. That there was no thought or hesitation in the owner of that dog that he's going to have to go in with the dog and do this together with the dog to go into danger with it. And do danger together with two babies. Nobody in this equation thought of this or any of this. Stunning, mind-blowing. All right. I've had enough. I can't take any more with this. These are the things that irk me to my core. Thoughtlessness in the industry. All right. I'm Richard Hines. I'll see you next time.